Hello everyone, my name is SnapToFreeze, and this is my second video. This video's topic will be, as the title suggests, the Federation of Super-Earth from Helldivers going up against the Covenant from Halo. This is pretty much a successor to my Automatons vs. the UNSC video, which this is my second video ever. I guarantee none of y'all watched it. Please comment if you did. So, I have like one of those like matchup bar things, and we're going to be going through the categories to see who wins what. And I have a little tally mark next to me. All right, strength. Strength to me could mean a lot of things. It can mean the physical strength of soldiers, or it could just mean the overall power the Empire has. Now, this is going to be a common theme throughout the video, extremely close, as a Covenant laser, an excavation beam, is way more powerful than a 500 kilogram bomb ever is. But there is a couple of key strategies. So I'd say an excavation beam is more powerful over a long period of time. This is what the Covenant specializes in, as you know, that's plasma. They got fusion reactors, so they can churn that out infinitely. Compared to Super Earth, who more so has like a one shot, once in a lifetime, just holy shit weapon, like the DSS, and later the Star of Peace. So I would say I'm giving this to Super Earth because the Covenant, to my knowledge, have not destroyed entire planets beyond just scouring the surface. 1 point, Super Earth. Next up, speed. Much like strength, this could mean a lot of things, but I'm just gonna say just like how fast the Empire can react to stuff. And no surprise, this is going to Super Earth. The Covenant utilize slip space technology, which is still extremely fast at around 900 light years per day. Very impressive. But Super Earth utilizing the Alcubierre warp jump is just bonkers. Some of the fastest FTL in fiction. I forgot where it's from, but it's like there's one driver, it's like instant. That's like the only one to my knowledge that beats Super Earth's FTL. And at that speed, it doesn't really matter. So I calculated the total size of Super Earth to be 1,200 light years in every direction. And the Alcubierre drive can move across that in like 4.3 seconds. So yeah, considerably faster than 900 light years per day. 2-0 Super Earth. Next up, we got durability. And this should be a surprise to no one, but the Covenant is taking this. Super Earth, Super Destroyers, and the Helldiver armor is made out of a titanium alloy, kind of like Spartan armor. But Covenant, but the Covenant ships, it is a common theme throughout Halo. The Covenant do everything better. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, they're better in bed, the whole shebang. So yeah, point for the Covenant. Skill. So skill. Who does their respective stuff better? Now, I love Helldivers, but st stuffing an 18-year-old into a tin can and throwing them into a planet with 2 weeks of training. Granted, actually, never mind, I messed that up. It's like 32 hours, 72 hours. Now, we haven't really gotten anything. Helldiver training can range from 5 minutes to 9 months. So there's like this whole thing is ambiguous, but I don't really think it matters because that the training time should be like the same time as like grunts. The Sangheili are extremely skilled with like doing their whole thing. Helldivers, yeah, they're no slouch, but that is more so for gameplay reasons. I don't think it'd be fun if your Helldiver was dropping mags and like tripping over his own feet, now would it? 2-2, tied. Experience. This goes to the Covenant. Helldivers, well, Super Earth in general has only been around for 142 years, compared to the Covenant, who have been around for thousands. Point for the Covenant, 2-3. Intelligence. Who is smarter. Now, despite the propaganda and the comedic incompetence of Super Earth, this is going to them. The Covenant didn't even know what their own technology could do. For like majority of the Human Covenant War, they did not know they could jump below the Mac lines that were shredding their fleets until Cortana showed them after the events of Halo CE 3-3 tied. Next up, powers. This is just for characters, not really Empire, so we're gonna skip that. Now next up we have hacks. I'm not sure what this means exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is just like special abilities. Just like who has the more powerful wild card. Now I'm giving this one to Super Earth. If there's anything I'm missing, please correct me in the comments, because from what I've seen, the Covenant cannot do anything that matches turning planets into black holes. 4-3 Super Earth. Next up, the attack potency. Here it comes again. This is extremely close and hard to call for anyone. Super Earth's idea is scouring. They just bomb a planet to hell. Kind of like Exterminatus, compared to the Covenant, who utilize excavation drills to glass a planet. I have no clue which one is more effective. Because the main goal for the Covenant with glassing is to render a planet like uninhabitable. Like that's their plan. So they glass oceans, they strip away the atmosphere, and obviously turn the surface into a layer of molten glass. So, and it's not confirmed who did it, but it's implied to be Super Earth. They nuked the hell out of X-45, which is where we got the plans for the DSS. So when it comes to just scouring versus glassing, I'm probably going to give it to like glassing because the UNSC, it's like estimated to take like 100 years to deglass a planet, while orbital bombing could probably be done in like a couple of years. And given the logistics of Super Earth, it makes things easier. Plus, most of the factions have a like workaround to orbital bombing, except like maybe the automatons. But as previously mentioned, that's not the only way Super Earth has. It's the only method they use. So I hate bringing this up over and over again because it seems like it's just like a crutch for my entire argument. But the Star of Peace, Super Earth 5-3 against the Covenant. Next up, combat. Who's just the better combatant? Didn't really. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Give me a minute. In terms of combat, Super Earth has way more variety. The Covenant, much like the Imperium of Man, they are a zealous, just hardline religious empire. They do not like innovation at all. It takes a long ass time for them to switch up tactics, and they do not innovate. Compared to Super Earth, who loves alien tech. They hate aliens, but they love their technology. They love experimenting, they love doing new tactics, unless it's giving their citizens freedom. True freedom, that is. Point Super Earth. Next up, we have range. I'm I don't really think this matters because it's like on the scale of like entire galaxies. Not really that important of a stat. Plus, I haven't given much thought over who can shoot an orbital piss laser better from a distance. Next up, stamina. Now, once again, it's like, oh, this is for characters, not empires. But I'm just going to take it as who can keep their war effort running longer, the Covenant or Super Earth? Once again, this is too close to really call. We're going to have to go deep into it. The backbone of the Covenant industry is the grunts, who repopulate extremely fast and can lift like 200 pounds, like the little guys that you beat up and bully. Yeah, they lift 200 pounds and would beat the hell out of you in a fight. And they were able to keep the human covenant. Actually, they were just able to keep the covenant going for like a few hundred years. Super Earth has not been around that long, and I have not seen like anything about like their war effort. They in the most recent update they were able to spare 200 million Helldivers and an additional 70 million up for just getting the cyber stand. Sorry about that. Leaning back in my chair. I have no clue over who could keep themselves running longer. So this we're gonna have to go deeper than just like manufacturing capability, and we're gonna have to go into politics. No, I'm not mentioning real politics, just in-game politics. So the Covenant Empire is it's a police state, just like Super Earth. They both maintain survivability through subjugating their citizens and totalitarianism. But there is a clear difference. Super Earth has never really been plagued by like falling apart. There was there are the cyborgs, the automatons, and there's that one planet I forgot the name of. They rebelled like pre Helldivers 1, and it was like the first introduction of the Helldivers. It was like 50 of them dropped on the Parliament building and ended the uprising. So, other than that, Super Earth seems pretty stable compared to the Covenant, who fell apart after the events of Halo 2 and Halo 3. In fact, actually, Halo 3, like the missions on the Ark, that's just the Covenant. That is the last of like the true Covenant. So, and throughout the lore, like in Halo 2, we do see the Prophet of Truth, or no, not Truth. I'm pretty sure it was Regret or Mercy. Like he said that if it not for the Arbiter, the Covenant would have broke long ago. Now this doesn't really mean anything, but one of his lines, he says, "The Grunt Rebellion." Now I looked into it, and a bunch of the races in the Covenant didn't all that care for the Great Journey. Let's go off the list. The Grunts, they hated the Covenant. They rebelled. The Jackals, once again, they didn't care about the Great Journey. They were just pirates. They just wanted to get paid. The Sangheili, now they obviously believed. The Arbiter saying that they never believed is bullshit. Now, but there were like a few contingents of Sangheili that did not believe. But we're not talking about them because they're not really a part of the Covenant. Now the Brutes, yeah, they believed in the Great Journey. They were pretty zealous. We see that with Tartarus and the other chieftains. Now we have the Bugs and the Yanmei. They didn't really care about it either, because when the Covenant fell apart, they just kind of went back to their homeworld to hibernate. The Engineers, yeah, they also hated the Covenant. I'm pretty sure that's all the races in the Covenant. I guess there's the Prophets, but kind of self-explanatory. So if Super Earth manages to do something like killing Truth or one of the three main prophets, granted, it wouldn't like stop the Covenant dead in their tracks, but it could cause a power vacuum leading to a couple of races leaving. And I would not be surprised because like Super Earth, they will use aliens before killing them, like with the Illuminate and the cyborgs. Like they kept the cyborgs around, and they kept Illuminate technology around because it was useful. If the grunts and the engineers like defected, Super Earth would be like, "Oh yes, of course, welcome in," and then enslave them. So, point for Super Earth. Agility, once again, I don't really know how to apply that to like multiple empires. So yeah, skip that. Battle IQ. Who's more intelligent in combat? So Super Earth, yeah, they do have like an Imperium of Man strategy of just like more people than Bullet. But so do the Covenant as their main strategy for winning against humanity was just overwhelm them with both advanced technology and numbers. So, in terms of battle IQ, the Sangheili, yeah, they are brilliant commanders. The Arbiter would command circles around most enemies. And as for Super Earth, they don't really like vary that lot in like combat compared to like technology and other stuff. And the Covenants, their experience and all that, I'm gonna give them the point. So it is 7-4 Super Earth. So their abilities. Who can I kind of already covered this with hacks, but I would say Super Earth has like more available crap they can throw at the Covenant. They can throw the SCAF. They they get slaughtered. They can throw Helldivers. They do pretty good. Their fleet, yeah, the Covenant would slice through the Super Earth Navy without issue, but I'm gonna cover that later. But Super Earth has more like variety in their tactics, even if they don't always use them. So stuff like the Star of Peace and just the DSS in general. The Covenant have never really seen anything like it. Guess there were the Nova bombs, but like I can't recall like the Covenant particularly caring about Nova bombs. So abilities, point for Super Earth. Now, let's go to the what I call the most important factor of any sci-fi war. Who wins in space? Let's begin. I and just I've been doing a lot of research, and there is no concrete number to how big the Covenant fleet was. We haven't gotten any official confirmation, no numbers, no nothing, other than just like what we see from the stories. And the most consistent number I find is the Covenant had 15,000 capital ships at their peak. I'm just going to be taking that as fact because, well, nothing else that really matches how much we see it. So, how does that stack up against the Super Earth fleet? Buckle your seatbelt, this is going to get insane. A quote from a Helldivers 2 developer, an official Arrowhead employee, said that when it comes to like providing in-game numbers, they just use the player counts. Now, this may not apply to what I'm about to mention, but the amount of sales Helldivers 2 has made, which should be canon, or maybe it might be canon, and if it's confirmed to not be canon, I will admit it. All right, I will make a second video just like with that in mind. Helldivers 2 has sold 20 million copies. What I said a few minutes ago, yeah, a Covenant ship would have no problem like destroying dozens or maybe even hundreds of super destroyers. But at a scale of more than 1,000 to 1 number advantage for Super Earth, it does not matter at that scale. And get this, that's just the super destroyers. And we've never seen it, but like we could probably assume that it exists in similar numbers to super destroyers. The Liberty class cruiser, and like real life destroyers are support ships and cruisers, they help in ship to ship combat. And you guys can completely ignore this next point, but it somewhat implies the existence of battleships and carriers in the Super Earth Navy. But, you know, we already have 20 million super destroyers and a potentially similar amount of Liberty class cruisers. So let's say it's like, I don't know, 2 destroyers per cruiser. That's still 30 million ships. Like, it does not matter how good a Covenant ship is. They could be Forerunner ships and they'd still lose. Super Earth wins in space. And this is without even including the DSS. And it annoys me when people just like disregard the DSS by it, but it got disabled by the Illuminate. The Illuminate threw a large chunk of their fleet in an ambush on the DSS. They had every single conceivable advantage, and they only knocked it out for 2 weeks. And when it came back, the DSS kicked their ass, shattering their fleet on equality on sea. The Super Earth Navy, it doesn't matter how many ships they lose, they would beat the Covenant in space. Point Super Earth. Now, let's look at the tallies. It's not even close. Super Earth has received 9 points from me. The Covenant, 4. This is going to upset a lot of Halo fans, assuming you guys bother to comment, but you guys are free to contest any point I make. Alright? That is the point of free speech. And if you want to share your opinion, then post it in the comments and I will read them. I guarantee it. And if you beat my argument, as in I cannot find anything to disprove you, I will concede. I will admit you were right.